welcome back in Christchurch. It is dreary, it's raining, the children are trying to figure out what to do. They've been building huts, so we're waiting for a bit of a lull in the weather so that they can go outside and enjoy sitting in their own shelter that they've made. You know, an essential survival skill. I was looking through the comments yesterday and we had a visitor, Carolyn from South Australia, so Mr. Tim has gone international. Woohoo! And lots and lots of comments and views from people around Christchurch, just our community and abroad as well. And I see we've had some family check-in in Auckland, which is fantastic. Thank you guys. Hi Omar. Nate B, you have asked for some Dr. Zeus. Boom. We have Horton Here's a Who today. I absolutely love this one. It's a really good story, and Dr. Zeus is a family favourite. We've got the big old pile of them, and I've got some old ones that that you don't usually see, but they're quite a bit of a longer read. So I'm toying with the idea of doing a longer read in the evening. If that's something that you guys think would be something that we could explore, pop it in the comments. I would like to read like the BFG and possibly the Hobbit or something like that, and I'm really good at the BFG, and I've done heaps and heaps of voices well before the movie started, so the kids can confirm that. So, and what's really funny is my BFG voice was quite similar to the movies one, so that's a bit so I hope you enjoyed this one. Sit back and relax, snuggle up to your brother or sister or your mum and dad on the couch, or your kitty cats, I see, and or your little puppy. That'll be fantastic. So, speck of dust, some sort of creature of very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because, after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So, gently and using the humph, humphed the voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in a pouch said humph too. Why, that speck as small as the head of a pin, a person on that, why, there never has been. Believe me, said Horton, I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite keen and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's two, even three, even four, quite likely. A family for all that we know. A family with children just starting to grow, so please, Horton said, as a favour to me, try not to disturb them. Just please let them be. Are they going to let them be? I think you're a fool, laughed the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in a pouch said, me too. You're the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. And the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool. What terrible splashing, the elephant frowned. I can't let my very small persons get drowned. I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they. So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. I wonder what an elephant looks like hustling away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks to Dust Speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on the flower. And Horton walked worrying almost an hour. Should I put the speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't after all. A person's a person, no matter how small. Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. Speak up, please, said Horton. He put his ear near it. My friend, came the voice, you're a very fine friend. You've helped us all folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings and floors. You've saved all our churches and grocery stores. You mean? Horton gasped. You have buildings there too? Oh yes, piped the voice. We most certainly do. I know, called the the voice. I'm too small to be seen, but I'm mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they're wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who, and we Whos are all thankful and grateful to you. And Horton called back to the mayor of the town, You're safe now, don't worry, I won't let you down. But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers come shouting, What? The elephant's talking to Whos who are not. What? There aren't any Whos and they don't have a mayor, and we're going to stop all this nonsense. So there. Naughty monkeys. They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladikov, the mighty strong eagle of very swift wing, and they said, Will you kindly get rid of this thing? Before the poor elephant even could speak, the eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. Oh no! Oh, that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, Please don't harm all my little folks who have as much right to live as us bigger folks do. But far, far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping over his shoulder. He called back, Quit your yapping, I'll fly the night through, I'm a bird and I don't mind it. And I'll hide this tomorrow where you'll never find it. And at 6:56 the next morning he did it. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. Finds that, sneered the bird, but I think you will fail. And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. Oh, Vlad. Dastardly Vlad. That's a lot of clover. I'll find it, cried Horton. I'll find it or bust. I shall find my friends on my small speck of dust. And clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched them and called, Are you there? But clover by clover he found that one that he sought was just not around. And by noon poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. Then through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last on the 3 millionth flower. My friends, he cried, tell me, do tell. Are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well? From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. We've really had trouble much more than our share. When that black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed. So Horton, please, pleaded the voice of the mayor, will you stick by us Whos while we're making repairs? Of course, Horton answered. Of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks through thin and through thick. Humph, humphed the voice. For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carrying on in this peaceable jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state, snapped the big kangaroo, that your silly nonsensical game is all through. And the young kangaroo in a pouch said, Me too. With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and Wickersham in-laws who help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. As for your duster speck, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of bezelnut oil. Boil it, gasped Horton. Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. They'll prove it to you. Mr. Mayor, Horton called. Mr. Mayor, you've got to prove now that you really are there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out, make every who holler, make every who shout, make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in bezelnut stew. In a bezelnut stew. And down on the dustbed, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square, and as people cried loudly, they cried out in fear, "We're here! We're here! We're here! We are here!" The elephant smiled. "That was clear as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard it that well." "All I heard," snapped the big kangaroo, "was the breeze and the faint sound of wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voice, and you didn't either." And the kangaroo in a pouch said, "Me neither." "Grab him," they shouted, "and cage the big dope. Lasso his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. Then dunk that dumb speck in the bezelnut juice." Horton fought back with great vigour and vim, but Wickham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage. But he managed to call to the mayor, "Don't give up! I believe in you! A person's a person, no matter how small. And you very small persons will not have to die if you make yourselves heard. So come on, now, and try!" The mayor grabbed a tom-tom, he started to smack it, and all over Whoville they whooped a racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail tops and old cranberry cans. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots, on clarinets, oompas and boompas and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky, and the mayor called up through the howling mad hullabaloo, "Hey Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through?" And Horton called back, "I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong quite as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure all your boys are doing their best? Are they all making noise? Are you sure every who down in Whoville is working? Quick, look through your town. Is there anyone shirking?" Through the town rushed the mayor from the east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. But it wasn't enough, all the ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. Desperate times. And just as he felt he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, he suddenly burst through a door, and that mayor discovered one shirker, quite hidden away in the Fairfax Apartments, apartment 12J. A very small shirker named Jojo was standing and bouncing a yo-yo, not making a sound, and not a yip, not a chirp, and the mayor rushed inside and grabbed the young twerp. Uh-oh. And he climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower. "This," cried the mayor, "is your town's darkest hour. The time for all who's who of blood that is red to come to the aid of their country," he said. "We've got to make noises in great amounts, so open your mouth, lad, for every voice counts." Thus he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat and shouted out, "Yop!" And that yop, that one small extra yop, put it over. Finally, at last, from the speck on that clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled. "Do you see what I mean? They proved they are persons, no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all." "How true, yes, how true," said the big kangaroo. "And from now you know what I'm planning to do. From now on I'm going to protect them with you." And the young kangaroo in a pouch said, "Me too. From sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them, no matter how smallish." Thanks, Nate B, for the suggestion for a bit of Dr. Zeus action. I love it, and I hope you have a great day. And we'll see. We've got some Margaret Mayhew action tomorrow, and I have a big fat book of lots and lots of Margaret Mayhew stories, and very, very family favourites. We have lots of favourites. We really love reading, and I hope you do read as well. And keep the suggestions coming. If I have the books, I will attempt to read them. And go well, and look after your parents, and we'll see you tomorrow.